Hey, Trevor Alexander with Burn Saddlery. Today we're going to be making a coin pouch for this month's how-to with Shop Talk magazine. So for today's coin pouch, the things we're going to be needing as far as tools, we're going to need some scissors. The knife is optional, you could cut everything with the scissors. We're going to need a writing utensil, some paper for a pattern, that's a buck stitch needle with a threaded end, number 6 hole punch, a lace cutter, a burner, and a square, and some lighter weight leather. It needs to be pretty supple, so you'll want something like this is lambskin, maybe some ostrich, and then you'll need some sort of lacing leather, some alum tan, and let's get started. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna fold our piece of paper in half, and then this particular coin pouch is about 5.5 inches tall. So we're gonna mark our line at 5.5, and then it's about 4.5 inches wide. So we're gonna mark a second line at 2.25, and then we'll make a solid line here at 2.25. So then for the bottom of it, we're gonna have a nice radius. So we're just gonna draw in a nice radius here, and it's gonna taper at the top, 1/2 inch or so. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this out. So we got that cut out. And this is now our shape to our coin pouch. So we'll go ahead and we'll cut these out of some of this lambskin that we have here. And it's got 2 colors to it, so it'll give a really nice contrast. We're gonna trace it out on the side that's easier to see. You want this to be pretty soft, or else the coin pouch won't open and close very easily. We'll cut that out. And I'm gonna cut so that the pen is gone. We're gonna cut the pen away. This lambskin is really soft, so scissors might be a better option to cut it out with for you if you're using lambskin. Okay, so we have our front and our back piece cut out now. So now we're gonna cut that about 3/4 of an inch wide. We'll just take a strip of this lambskin, and we're gonna mark a line at 3/4 of an inch. Take a measurement of around this. Cut that off. And then I'm going to taper in my edges to almost a point. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to use it as a pattern for my other tapers. I'm going to set this just like this. So I'm going to use this side that we just cut as the pattern for this side so that they match. Now we have our front, our back, and our middle piece. And we'll go over to a sewing machine and we'll start sewing these pieces together. So we're just gonna fold a 1/2 inch over. You can scribe a line at 1 inch if you'd like. I'm just using my foot as a guide on this side. I'm gonna back stitch 2. And stitch across. And this is where our string will close everything together. Okay, and we'll back stitch 2. I'm gonna use that one as a guide to see how much I fold it over. So I fold it over about that much. And this distance could change a little bit if you wanted to use a heavier string for your closer. But for the string that I'm going to be using, this will be just perfect. Okay, now that we've got our pieces stitched, we're going to go ahead and grab this middle piece. And we're going to line it up with this edge. I'm going to tuck it in there just a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and sew it up. Make sure we back stitch these first two. And once again, I'm just using my foot as a guide. I'm gonna just run my foot right on that outside of the leather. And then we'll sew our other side on, just the same as that. Make sure we line up our tops like that. Now we'll trim off the excess there, flip it inside out, burn off all of our strings. Make sure everything's nice and clean. Then we're going to burn off our threads with this thread burner. And we'll trim off this excess around the stitch there, just leaving about a 1/16 of an inch. Okay, then we'll fold it the right way. And now we'll go through and we'll punch 6 holes across this. We're going to punch through both layers, starting right next to that corner. So punch one there. And these middle two I want close together so that when I tie everything up it looks nice. I'll do that on the other side. So the two on this side don't need to be close together like on the front side. And then we'll make our lace. And we're just going to use a scrap piece of whatever you got laying around. And we're going to cut a hole out of the center of it. Just a circle. Doesn't have to be anything too precise, just as long as your lace cutter will fit through it. So once we have the hole in the middle, we're going to just start running our lace cutter around like this until we get a tail. We're going to get a hold of that tail, and we're going to just start pulling just like that. And at one point it should take off and just start cutting with just the pressure on the tail like that. And that's plenty of lace for our pouch, so we'll just cut it off here. Give it a little tug to get the creases out of it. Now that we have our lace made, we're gonna point the one end of it so that it can fit in one of these buck stitch needles, which are threaded. We're gonna thread it. We're gonna start with the side with the holes closer together, so this side. We're gonna just start weaving this through. Then we'll trim off our excess to match. It's probably about 5 inches of excess. Then we'll make sure it all closes up nice, which it does. And there you have it. There is our finished coin pouch. Thanks for tuning into this how-to, and we'll catch you on the next one.